Right, so previously I've set up a little helper so I could do something like run an nginx container, control B, and that'll spit out a command here generated by the OpenAI API. Instead of doing that though, sometimes I find myself wanting a link to documentation for the command at hand. And so I've set up another binding here that asks a different question, asks for it to generate a link for me to get documentation. So if I just hit F3 here, I get back a list of links, and sometimes they're not relevant at all. I think this is coming up for the fish shell because I need to tweak the prompt here. The prompt includes the fact that I'm running inside of a fish shell, which is probably less relevant actually for what I'm doing here in terms of getting documentation. But the second link here, definitely relevant. Or of course, the third link here, absolutely relevant, though in a different regard, because this has to do with the type of container I'm trying to run, not with the command to actually run any given container. So instead of this, I could do something like, let's just say I was doing a kubectl config, and I want some documentation about what's available. So F3. All right, so open up both of these. Definitely that second link is relevant. In fact, this is exactly what I was looking for. And of course, I have source for this available in my .files repo. So first off, I have a function here that's specific to asking for a link, and this is of course bound to F3. And then basically the same body here is what I was using for asking for a command. The real difference is that I call into a link.py instead of a single.py. Link.py is right next to single.py. Single is where I'm asking for a single command. I've also got multiple for multiple commands. And then of course, link here for a link. Actually, I allow it to return like up to 3 links, I believe. And if you're curious like I am why the fish shell command is being recommended so highly, has something to do with the fact that I inject a little environment snippet here. Basically, I want to specify the operating system and the fish shell. For some reason, that fish part is being emphasized too much, so I could just get rid of it and see how the links turn out. I suppose if I ask about fish shell features, I might have some trouble, but let's just get rid of that and see what happens here. So back over at the command line, open up a new tab to load that change. That's the same thing again here, F3. Okay, there you go. I don't have anything about the fish shell now.